Right. We're back again. We, as in me, I guess. Where do we start? Do we start with the goodies? So, HORNBEAMs. Bing bong. Brilliant.
Give me your dollar.
Literally, as soon as I start. Brilliant. I think that was even misdrop as well. It's even intriguing. Whose insignia is this?
Give
That can wait. HORNBEAMs M42s are here. They're in the bag. I have not opened them. I haven't seen them. We will do that all in a second, or live, so you can see my reaction. And I think, from what I've read, what I've seen, what I've spoken to with Steve, I think his name is, at HORNBEAM. I will double check that because I may just be making shit up like usual. We'll go through them and we'll see how shit hot amazing they are. Epic are sending me a copy of their M42s to have a proper good look at. We can compare them against all the other bits and pieces like we'll do with those. There is also a Garrison cap in the HORNBEAM Militaria bag, which I am excited about seeing. So I have a whole pile of original Garrison caps there. I do not have any reproduction Garrison caps because all the ones I've seen are not good enough. There's always something weird about them, whether it be bright neon piping, huge stitches, weird shapes, or piss poor flimsy ass material. And I know a few of you said like, oh yeah, well, you've seen some good ones, but again, each to their own. I personally haven't seen any I liked and considered good enough. So hopefully that HORNBEAM one may fill a big gap in the market. Yes, I have a whole huge bucket of tea again. I was scanning through YouTube in the management section, or whatever you want to call it, behind the scenes of the Misdrop channel, and I was laughing at some of the funny comments on there that people have made. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. If they think something's authentic when it's a shower of shit, then they're welcome to believe that. But yeah, I thought we might go through some of those comments today because some of them sort of made me laugh. Other news, sugar cans, I finally actually got them reprinted. Or no, they are not period correct. Sugar come in boxes, but the cans are really useful. I use them for my own sugar, and a lot of people have said, can we make them too? So those have gone off to be printed at the moment, and they will be back soon. So we will be selling sugar cans to go with the sugar. Go with the sugar? Yeah, sugar cans to go with the sugar. Sugar cans to go with the milk and the coffee. We got, I think, 6, 7 different coffees, a hot chocolate and 1 milk, and then 3 sugars. The milk can's really good. It's quite a faithful copy. Some of the coffee ones, yeah, I really like. They come out really well. I am clearing all of my relics. So for those who didn't know, I did relic hunting for far too fucking long. Met too many dickheads in the hobby. I just want out. I'm just getting rid of the lot. I have no interest in it at all. I'm keeping some of the dog tags because obviously I fucking love my dog tags. But everything else relic related is fucking off out the door. There is a huge box on the floor which is going to Colin, I've forgotten his name already, who's buying up things left, right and centre. I have a whole shed full of relics. I have relics in display cabinets. There's relics in the table next door. There are relics all around my house. If I have anything you want, and don't ask me for a fucking list, that would be absurd. I would spend years writing the list. If you know I have shit you want, tell me, and I want it gone. I just do not want it here anymore. I want away from that god-awful fucking hobby. So it's going. By the way, you're giving me prices of what you want to pay for things. I'm not telling you. I'm not writing lists. I'm not giving you price lists. That is not happening. I'd rather throw the stuff in a fucking skip, which will probably happen with a lot of it because there's just so fucking much. I want it gone. I cannot emphasize the word gone enough. Gone, fucking gone. Yeah. Right. Other news. Books. Woo, books. along the same format as, yes, I'm probably going to be showing this in every fucking video, along the same format as that, I will be working with Airborne Ellie and Nellie Louise. Almost got her name completely wrong. I'm really good with names, you'll soon realise this. About doing a book on wax and wax. That's whack with an extra A in the middle of it. They have all the knowledge, they have lots of photographs, they have contacts for kit, they know where to get information from if they don't have it. So one of those will go ahead. Haven't heard back from the 82nd boys, which was a bit weird because they said they wanted one. So if they don't, then we'll do it without them. If you see this, boys, ping me a message so we can, you know, start plodding through ideas and get you guys a book out there with all your pretty faces in it. Got some nice feedback on the French guides, the French phrase book and the French language guide from a guy in the States who absolutely adores them. He wants lots of other ones. Again, people keep asking for German, they keep asking for Italian. I've had a few people ask for Dutch ones. I will hit the German ones next, I think that makes the most sense, and then probably Dutch and maybe Italian, depends how they go. But German ones, definitely, I promise I will get round to those when I can. Right, that's my notes done, because obviously if I don't write shit down, I ain't going to remember it. And as soon as I hit record, I'll just sat there like an idiot staring at a camera, as opposed to sitting here like an idiot talking to the camera. Oh, let's grab a knife and open the magical bag from HORNBEAM. Sorry if that's rustling too loud. Okay. We are in. There is lots of white paper. Ooh. Okay, let's... We're in. No notes. Okay. Right. Ooh. Pretty. Oh. Okay. Oh. I think I like the fact it's actually presented. Oh. And we have a card. HORNBEAM Militaria, military tailors and outfitters, extensively employed by officers and other ranks of the Commonwealth and American Forces, walking out uniform and reverse lend-lease a speciality. The combat is stock as officers, other ranks, caps, ties, boots, shirts, tunics, shoulder titles, insignia. Okay, so you get one of those. I quite like the little packet. It first confused me because it looked like a Carlisle. Oh god, what's that stuff called? No, it's lost. A little packet of sulfonamide powder. You get in there. That's what I thought was in there. Oh, what is? Oh no, it's probably the worst thing for me to start with, isn't it? You know what a patch Nazi I am. Bum, bum, bum. Thank you for your purchase. Well, it wasn't, but I like the fact that you get one of those. Okay, I'm no expert when it comes to 80-second patches. The AA is pretty much in the middle of the centre. It's slightly off. It follows the sort of pattern, so you know it's tolerable-ish. You know how much I fucking hate patches that don't resemble them exactly. Steve, I'm sorry. I'm sure this will jump up dramatically when I start looking at the M42s. Where's the fucking camera? There, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like a scribbly eye. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the patch, but you get them free with. I think you get a patch free with the jacket. I don't think you get both. So I think you need to specify. So they're free. You know the rules. Or you know my recommendation, it's not a rule. All patches, Green Army Productions. And yeah, I know he's never available when you need him to, but he is sorting stuff out. He will be back in production. He's just got a lot on, so bear with him. Keep pinging him messages, because you know you might give him a good kick up the arse. Okay. Do you know what? I like the simple presentation of the string. Yes, I'm easily impressed, but that looks like it's been picked off of a shelf in a depot, and there you go. I like that. And it comes with a trouser belt. Yeah, that's a really nice, simple touch. Okay. Well, do you know what? I feel bad almost cutting the string. Which sounds ridiculous, isn't it? 'Cause I'm not going to put the string back on it, let's face it. Don't have to. I'm in. No, I'm not. Fine. Let's cut the string. Okay. We're in. We're in. Can we separate the trousers? Yeah, put the trousers there a minute. Because, you know, as important as the trousers are, the first thing you always look at when you see a paratrooper in a shoddy uniform is the jacket. It's what stands out the most. All the important bits of the trousers, like the belt area, the loops, the pockets, they're all hidden, except the leg pockets, obviously. So, here we go. Right, let's hold it up to you. Do you know, is this something I can put it on? Let's move all this paper. Jesus. Do you know, I have an empty mannequin behind me. That'll be easier. Come here, you. That's my jumper hanging from it. Let's bring you around here. Oh, look at that. It's almost made for it. Almost made for hanging clothes. I'm not a fucking idiot. What is it? It's a 44. Cool. Smells. It smells not offensive. It's going to sound really weird. It smells like my old school bag. Yes, and I know none of you know what my school bag used to smell like. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know. It has a fairly unique-ish sort of smell to it. Not that it's bad. Not that it's particularly nice. But yeah, you know, mind you, it's not as bad as Soft's raincoat. So. Because that does fucking honk when you take that out of the bag. But it's still a fucking good raincoat. Oh, okay, right, let's whack that on there. Come on! You've tried doing zips on my mannequins, always a pain in the ass. Okay. Okay, so. That looks a little bit smaller, but I'll grab my original one in a minute and we'll have a look. Some of those holes on some of these jackets are fucking. You can stick a fucking canoe in some of them. Remember that? No, you can't really see. 4 rows of stitching down there. It's nice and uneven and higgledy-piggledy. I like that. That's a nice touch. Because some of them have like 1 row. Some of them are just weird. Yeah. It's a nice colour as well. It's not like fucking OD7 or really ultra dark. It's got a nice faded, almost a grey green sort of look to it. Yeah, that's really nice. We have a label, which why did I put it on here? You can. I'll show you the label later when I whip this off the jacket. Coat, parachute jumper, HORNBEAM Military Limited. The usual specs. November doesn't have a capital N, but you know, I'm sure normal people probably wouldn't pick that up. Yeah, it's nice to have a label that resembles something. You know, it's laid out in the usual sort of format as the Philadelphia Quartermasters tags. The fonts are a bit modern-ish, but for ease of use, you know, it's not the end of the world. Plus, who's going to see it? Can you see? You can't see the pockets down there. Let's hold it up. So it does come out at an angle slightly. But yeah, it's nice. It's got a lovely feel to it. It feels like the at the front one. Yeah, it feels like a lightweight summer jacket, like it should do. It's not heavy. Obviously, when you CC to it, it will be a lot heavier. That's interesting. Remind me where the neon yellow parts of an M42 are. I guess that's just come from something else. Right, let's just have a quick butcher's. And again, people get weird about Talon zips. As I said in my book, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, Talon made original zips, but they weren't the only manufacturer. And Talon zips now do not look like Talon zips from World War II. They look very fucking different. See, none of these zips on any of the reproduction ones ever have that bar across the... Let me grab the original one. Ever have that bar across the top. Because I just don't think they make zips out like that anymore. It's just not a thing. I mean, somebody might make it. I don't know. I'm hardly a zip expert. If I undo this one. See on the original one, you see the zip at the top has that bar to stop you going off the rails and going any further. And obviously, I don't know if people make zips like that, but it's certainly unusual. And if they do, it may be a real specialist. Like you may have to pay the nose through. In fact, that is a Talon zip on that one. And do you know what? I mean, I know it's a bit crazy comparing fucking zips to zips, but it's not a million. You can't really see. I'm sorry. There you are. It's not a million miles away. I like the fact it's unbranded as well, because you don't need the tiniest Talon word on there for a zip which is then wrong. You'd rather have something that looks more accurate than something incorrect that just has the word Talon on it. Okay, let's grab another mannequin and we'll put that next to it, and then we can compare it to that original. Of course, again, all originals are not going to match, let alone all originals matching all reproductions, because there were multiple manufacturers. And unless somebody ever comes up with one and says, by the way, this is a replica of the manufacturer whoever, then you're always going to get some slight variation. You love German belt buckles? You want to do, please? There we go. Let's just chuck that on the floor. I guess I probably should have done all this beforehand, but you know, why be prepared? I didn't know what I was going to be doing. Bing bong, leave me alone, I'm busy. Right, let's just dump that on there. Right, so let's squeeze you in. You come here. Now I've lost my jacket. What? Oh. Where we put the original jackets? It's just on the floor. Right, come here. And yes, I'll yank it around.
Give me your dollar.
Right, so we can look at some pocket placements and things. Let's do it up. The zip on this original one is absolutely a monster. It's a huge, great big thing. Why it's so big, God only knows. It's like freaking train tracks. I'll show you what I mean in a minute if I can get the damn thing done up again. Nope, fine, I'm not going to bother. And that's not going to reach around his neck. Brilliant, okay. And yes, I've assumed the gender of this mannequin. So it's a bit thicker, but again, manufacturers, who knows? Same stitching, epaulets, you know, it's the same box with a cross design, looks like an envelope. A little bit longer. Again, manufacturers' differences. You know, there's nothing weird about it. There's nothing different. There's nothing too strange. It looks like it should look. You know, I mean, how much do people go into? Should it be a zinc coated popper or whatever they're fucking supposed to, Scoville poppers, or you know, does the manufacturer popper matter? To some, yes, fucking absolutely. To me, no, I couldn't give a shit as long as it looks like it and it works. Forget my belt is not attached on that jacket. So the pockets are about, alright, that's, do you know, let's do it more scientifically. We even own a ruler. So they're about 17 across, and on here they are 18 across the bottom. So it's slightly probably wider at the bottom than it is the top. Yeah, the top's a little bit narrower, so hence why that has more of a, oh, if you could actually see it, more of a wider bottom than top. Yeah, the original one. I was right, that is quite narrow, because the ruler fits in that one, but there's no way it's going to fit in there. Okay, so that's one little oddity. It's about, yes, that's a centimetre and a half bigger. Okay. Well, so far, that's its only negative point. You could say the poppers were a bit close together, only because that one's wider. Whether the others, original ones out there are closer to that, I don't know. I've only got one to compare to at the moment. I still haven't bought any more. Eventually. Loads of time yet. Right, let's have a look at these bottom pockets. Yes, obviously my original isn't reinforced, but still the pocket shape. Okay. I'll check the other repos for this actually. The split in the pocket, or the bellows, whatever you want to call it, on this one stops an inch from the bottom. On the original, it goes right the way to the bottom. I don't know whether you can see or not. But I'll have a look at the soft one, the at the front one. I think I got a really shitty SEMs one I bought downstairs, just so we got some real crap to hand. Belt loops are almost an inch thick on the Hornbeam one, and they're exactly half an inch thick on my original one. Again, I don't know if they were ever that thick. I'm just pointing out the difference between this original one versus this one, but we'll have a look and compare this against the other repros shortly. Why do we do that? Because they're all fucking different. They're all different, absolutely all different. So that's why we can play repro to repro. You want, again, the same as your impression. And again, this is just my opinion. You can call me a complete prick or the arsehole from YouTube, which does make me laugh. We tend to aim for the average trooper, not that weird guy, again I've said this a million times, wearing flip-flops, carrying a cricket bat. Yes, you'll probably find a picture of one of those if you really fucking look hard enough. You want the average guy, the average impression. You don't want to be the guy that stands out because you're doing something weird just because there's a photograph of somebody doing it. Yes, there's a guy in the 101st wearing a Carlisle parachute thing on his helmet. Did everybody do that? No, it seems to be just him. There's a guy with a Webley in a British P37 holster on his boot. Should everybody do that? No, they fucking shouldn't. So the same with the jackets. You can play repro to get the average best, not impression, the best and closest. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. I hope you do. The best overall that ticks the most boxes.
Give me your dollar.
Lost the ability to speak. So these belt loops are a lot wider than the original one, and I think, I'm not sure if it's soft. I know one of the other manufacturers have really wide ones, and the rest have really narrow ones. So I don't know if that's a negative thing or not at the moment. I love the stitching on the reinforcing though, and the colour. The colour is awesome. Yeah, very impressed. All right, let's have a look at arms and cuffs. I mean, arms are, it comes down right to the bottom. Well, I've got them up. Right to the bottom of both jackets. So in theory, the sleeves are the same length. No, wait a minute, it's on there. Good. The reinforcing goes into the sleeves, into the seam. Sorry. And what have we got at the cuff? So. Do you know what? The only thing I've noticed, and I've noticed this with a lot of manufacturers, so this may be a problem with using modern manufacturing sewing techniques versus to back then, is the stitches. And this isn't anything against Hornbeam in particular. This is something I've just noticed across all of them. Yeah, even this, I think that's a soft one next to me. All the stitches are always, actually a lot, got any calipers for this really. Let's have a look with the millimetres. There they are. So a stitch on my original one, it's just over 1 millimetre. I know this is crazy to be measuring stitches, but so it's just over 1mm on the original one, and that's 4mm on that one. And I bet all the others are exactly the same. Yeah, just over 3, just about 3.5 on whichever one this is. I think that's dog shit SEMs. Let's have a look at SOF. I'm just picking random stitches here. And I know this is crazy. Alright, SOFs are about 3, maybe just a touch under. So I think this is probably a modern manufacturing thing versus, you know, something that could easily be rectified. But I might be wrong. What the hell do I know about manufacturing reproduction uniforms? Not a goddamn thing, that's what I can tell you. But yeah, actually, you know what? Now I've spotted that, it's hard not to see, and I'll show you close up in a minute. But yeah, even all around the pocket. Now I've seen that. But they're all like that. I think every single one I've ever looked at is like that. Okay, note to you manufacturers, if you happen to see this or somebody tells you, and you'll probably think if somebody tells you this, they're fucking mental. Yeah, the stitches are so much smaller. I mean, if you used to count them along the bottom of that pocket, there would be a hell of a big difference. 3 to 4 times the amount, maybe. Anyway, some people are going to be going, what the fuck are you on about, you idiot? Why does this matter? No, it doesn't. And until you see it, and then you can't unsee it. Power placements. I mean, that looks a bit higher than there, but again, fucking hell, no. Does it matter? Not really. Poppers on there, could be moved slightly over, slightly that way. Again, does it matter? Not fucking really, no. Ooh, let's have a look at the side where it all bellows out nicely. So that's got quite a long way in there. Where's it go up to? Whoa, my whole fingers going there before I hit anything. And oh, actually it does. It does. Yeah, it does. It's the same. But it's just because that's a tighter fit on the mannequins. It's done up than this baggy thing. That's okay. So there's a lot of space in there. Good. Vent holes. What have we got for vent holes? You know, the stuff that nobody ever sees unless you walk around surrendering. Which, you know, depending on the event, you might want to do that. So they're very similar. There's no metal studs. Studs isn't really metal round hole circle jid nods. Yes, George, I said jid nods again. I don't know what they're called. I've got anything small I can poke in there. Easy. I've got a pen lid. It's actually a hole. I'm sure it is actually a hole, but I can't poke that through. Is it? I don't actually think that's a hole, but I actually can't tell. Okay, might not have been, but I think it is now. Okay, so then, yeah, okay, well, that's something that maybe needs addressing. I mean, if I can push a pen lid through it, you could certainly push, you know, the pointy bit of a blade of scissors or a knife if you were gentle and didn't go slicing the jacket in half. But I prefer these ones over the metal ones. I just think they look nicer. But again, that's personal preference. You might decide you want a jacket with the metal ones. In which case, I can't remember which ones have those, but we'll have a look in a bit. So side's nice. Side pretty much is identical. On the back, we have the silly little triangles, of course. And there's one there, and there's one up there. You can't. You just see it now, and there's one down there, and there, about, I would say, a third smaller. But again, different manufacturers. Who fucking knows? Oh yeah, it does go right up. Okay, nice. Okay, so a lot of attention's gone into these big billowing seams, or whatever they're called. What is that called? Don't know. Do we need to know the name? Does that make a difference comparing one to the other? No. Okay. See, the closer you look at these, the more you find things which are actual variations. This is made from 2 pieces of material which are joined along the inside of the giant flappy magical hole And again, this may be to do with modern manufacturing techniques, but this is sewn and stitched down there, although it is one piece. I guess it's just to keep the shape, but yeah, it's stitched down there where the original isn't. Don't know. And then it is two pieces, so that join should be there, and that's different on that one at least. Again, I don't know if this is a modern manufacturing technique or if this example of this manufacturer didn't have that and others did. Who knows without owning a fuck ton of original ones of every manufacturer, and I bet they varied as well from time to time. So there's a lot more space between the belt loop on the original one than there is on this one. Again, the belt loops, mind you saying that, if it was all butted up a little bit, it would probably balance. Yeah, I think if that was butted up a bit, it would be more to scale. How far does that open? Yeah, it's quite a long way. Yeah, in fairness, that's good. Okay. All right. Let's spin you back round. See what I was saying about the zip? If you look at the teeth on the two of these, you see the huge difference. But I mean, I've never seen zips as big as the original one on anybody's manufacturer. They've all been, you know, a standard size zip, and I'm sure lots of the original ones had them too. Any weird size labels or anything in the back? There's a white 100% cotton label, 44R stamped. I love the feel of the material. It is really nice. That is nice. Do you know what? It's yeah. The weight of the material itself. That's really close. That's really nice. In fact, when you actually look close up in the material, I mean, you've got these diagonal lines which run through the material, and although they go a different, these ones go this way, and these ones go this way, and I'm sure that makes no fucking difference, because I'm sure again it's whichever way they put the cloth round and used it. It resembles that cloth, absolutely. Can you not fall over, please? Stay there. Yeah, it's lovely. Wow. Okay, I think this will be the well, we'll be now in the lead on the M42s we recommend to buy. We didn't even know this thing existed. It's crazy that this has just been blown from nowhere. Like I just got a message on. Oh, for God, why now? Can't call me now. Hold on, let me just send a message. Making a video. Don't call me. As subtle as ever. Oh, now oh yeah, we got a message on Facebook, and it just said, you know, have you seen these? And I said, well, no, who the hell are these people? Got chatting to them, and it was like, where has this come from? Amazing. Yeah. I mean, the feel of the material is much nicer than the rest out there. Absolutely. So pluses overall, a great look. I mean, I will. You know, people keep on about, since I mentioned it to somebody, that the angle of these pockets. Sometimes you find them like right up there at a crazy angle. It's almost like, you know, it's like that. And then, I mean, these ones are actually quite steep on this original one as well. It would be more like that. So I'm going to have to go through the book and actually see if you can get an average on what angle was most worn. Whether it's 50-50 or whether there is a fuckload more of this style or that style. Because it will give, if any manufacturer listen to me, I don't know what the hell they would, an idea of what was the average. And again, we're going for that average. No, I really like this. I'm very impressed. And as I said, it come from absolutely nowhere. I mean, the patches not so much. You get the patches free. It's just, yeah. So it's a souvenir. Jay, stop it. It's on the Miss Job lot. Ask me random questions about things. So, let's actually lose this one. And let's get the soft one on there. Because soft are the ones we'll be saying, yep, at the moment, go with the soft jacket. Value for money, fantastic. Once you're CC2'd, they really come up an absolute treat. Now this is my one, and it weighs an absolute ton because it is full of all the bits and pieces. So the colour difference is going to be immense because this has been CC2'd and it's been worn in the field and they sleep in it. So it's pretty gross. So actually, soft pockets, that's the size of the original one. So, I mean, if pocket holes is your thing, you'll be going to soft. So, what do we got overall? Well, first thing that stands out is the giant fucking pointy flap. Because that's nice and rounded on that one. And I don't know if you can see. Yeah, look, the way it literally is quite a sharp point. Epilux are shorter on softs, so that's more like the original one. Pocket angle again, that's more like my original one. It's quite steep. And I like the steep pockets, but we at the moment, until I go through all these pictures in the MDT Carantan books and get an overall, I couldn't even guess at what was worn the most, whether it was a shallower one or a steeper one. So that's personal preference right now. A soft zip. It's a Talon Mark zip. It's a modern looking zip. It's not ginormous. Actually, I would have to say, aside from the fact that it's actually a more older style looking zip, and softs is a really generic Talon zip for those people who love Talon branded zips. The way it's sewn on and the colour of it, although it's a very different material. That looks better. That's nicer. Yeah, absolutely. There's more attention to detail in that one. So let's see who was the closest zip. See, it's almost HBT style material. Just thin. It's got, you know, the chevrons all the way down it, and that isn't chevron-y type, but softs is, but it almost looks artificial, if that makes sense. Like they've tried too hard to make it look like HBT, but it's not. I don't know, that's really weird. Yeah, it's more like a checkerboard sort of pattern HBT. It's, if you'd imagine it being drawn on Minecraft as HBT, that's sort of what you get. What other goodies have we got to look at? I mean, arm length is fine on the soft one. It's exactly the same as that one. Again, soft go with the 4 stitches on the reinforcing on the bottom. You really can't see that because, as I said, this is disgusting. It feels weird. That's a real heavy canvas, or almost a heavy canvas style on the reinforcing on that one. This is much lighter, much lighter. Actually, I prefer it. I don't know how thick and how heavy it was on the originals. I've never played with an original reinforced M42. But personal choice, I like that one more. I like the HORNBEAM one more. Sorry, Sof. I think you've just been pipped to the post overall on this. In belt to belt, I sliced mine off, but it's a nice solid metal. It doesn't feel like it's just going to fall apart. It's on there. It doesn't. Some of them look really flat and really tacky, like they've come out of a cracker. That, I mean, there's nothing special about the belt buckles. They're quite plain looking things, but it feels, you know, solid. It feels like an actual functioning thing. Some of them are actually dog shit. Wow. God, I'd love to know what that would look like CC2'd. I think that'd look like a fucking amazing jacket, you know. Oh, how far do they... Again, another thing with the seams. They stop quite high up. Yeah, they both do it. The softs don't quite go to the bottom either. In fact, that's got a good inch on it as well. So the bottom pockets on the soft one are very similar to the Hornbeam one. The top pockets, the split goes a little bit longer. Goes to there. And that one stops quite high up. And the original goes right the way to that bottom seam. But it might just be my original one that does that. The others might not do that. The pockets are quite sharp on there. Mine's rounded. But then again, softs are exactly the same. So, yeah, it's epaulets are to the collar almost. Softs are shorter. That's nice and rounded. That's really sharp. Possibly a POS plus for soft with the big slopey pockets, because I think guys like that more. But again, there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. That looks quite wide. What have we got on soft? We've got 2 1/4 inches. No, it's exactly the same. It might just be because that's darker then. It fools the eye. Yeah, I really like it. I do, genuinely. I can see me. I'm sending this one back to Steve. It's not a freebie. But I think I might be buying this from him. I will try it on. Now, do you know what? Let's do that now. I want to see how it fits. Because I asked for 44, so that I could try it. God, it feels so nice. Oh, it's a nice random, nice black thread to go with the neon green one. God, the weight difference. I mean, I know this is soaked in oil and this has got stuff in it, but Jesus, it's really heavy. God, you people really will watch anything, won't you? Now you're watching me get dressed. Oh. I mean, it's probably just because I'm used to putting on that oil-soaked, sodden jacket that weighs an absolute ton, but that's really, really comfortable. Although I can compare the weight to my front one as well. It feels a lot bigger, but no, it's not. It's just because it's light. See, I would lose the belt anyway, but that's, yeah, that'll do up well as well. Okay. I can just feel it start to. But as I get my arms right back, but there's nothing that's gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna rip. It's not gonna stretch. You can. Yeah. You've got a lot of movement in there. You guess what all those big bellowy pockets are for, and the big gap on the back. That's really comfortable. Now, I'm not even going to particularly examine the inside unless there's something odd that really does stand out, because if you're showing people the inside of your jacket, I have to question what you're doing. But it's solid. Actually, that's okay. I will mention something, because I know I said about this on the soft one. It's got the seam that runs all the way down there on the soft one, where this has this sort of, I can only really call it sort of reinforcing. And if you pull the soft one like that way, you can actually see through the jacket. Because of the way this is made, you can't do that. Yeah, it's actually impossible to do that. So, in theory, hypothetically, this is stronger because that seam isn't exposed, and when the jacket stretches, that's the bit that gapes, the actual stitches. Okay, not that that really matters. I mean, I'm not a fan of the little 100% cotton label, but you know, that's the sort of shit you take out, like the made in China and the made in Pakistan and that sort of stuff. What is the swinging tag? I think it's another thank you for your purchase. Oh, yeah, that's very nice. yeah, can you tell I'm suitably impressed? Do you know, it's almost a disappointment when things aren't terrible. Because, you know, I know most of you love it when I'm an arsehole. The arsehole from YouTube. But this, yeah, it's really, really nice. Okay. Well, let's... Do you know what? I'm going to put that there a second. I know that's not how it goes. This is my at the front one. And I know a lot of people are saying at the front's quality is going down at the moment. Some people are saying it's not. And it's just, I don't know, I think some people get quite defensive over manufacturers they like. Because this, again, it's a very similar... Yeah, it's a very similar weight. It's a very similar material. It's different in colour though. That's a nicer colour. This has got a touch olive to it. Yeah, I mean this is obviously faded, but I think it resembles that more than this. Actually, it's hard to say. Well, we'll give them benefit of the doubt there. Yeah, I mean there's a slight difference in colour. One's a bit more, yeah, as you can see, it's probably hard to see, but one's slightly a different shade. This has, at the front, which has a touch more sort of olivey colour to it. Epaulets are pretty much the same. Pocket shape is, yeah, the same. The angle's the same. It's a slightly different place. The out front one's always looking that a lot longer. No, don't know. There's something slightly odd about the placement of the pockets between the two, but again, who knows what is right. The pocket reinforcement is nicer on the Hornbeam one. Yeah, this looks like it was actually designed to be structural. You've got 2 rows of stitching there, stitching around the top. You've got 3 rows that side, then you've got 4 down here. Whereas on at the front one, you've only got 1 row of stitching down here, which is obviously just to hold it in place. And then you've got the 4 rows, which make it look nice. But you know, that's just as important. That holds it all together. So yeah, that's a nice little extra, the way you've got an extra row of stitching down there. So wait a minute, so you've got 3 rows at the bottom, 1 on the top. So 1 holds to the pocket, 3 rows, and 3 go all the way through. Okay, do you know what? I have no knowledge of how clothes are put together, but from just flipping it over and looking at the stitches, you can see. So the pocket is sewn to the first row, and then when they put it on the jacket, that's sewn all the way through. And that gives you the fold. There we go. We learn something new every day. So it's very similar. It's very similar to the at the front one. Yeah, in so many ways. Let's see if it does that back thing that the soft one does. No, so they've got. Oh, do they? Yeah. So I hold that to the camera and pull. Yeah, you can't see, but that row of stitching there is what a soft one. You can just sort of see through as I move it along. And that's the same that they got on the soft one. But you can't do it with that because there's a piece of material over the top. At the front marks then with an M. I don't think M was a size during the war, was it? Also, I know my at the front one has no label in it, which I was annoyed about. But you know, we can't help that. The reinforcing is sewn under correctly on the at the front one. The stitches are much bigger and more haphazard on the Hornbeam one, which I like because, you know, you can imagine doing this all day long, putting rigor modifying jump uniforms. You'd be bored to tears, and I'm damn sure by the end of the day they wouldn't look as nice and neat as the first ones you've done that day. I mean, there'd be no need for rows of stitches to be perfectly neat. Yeah, I mean, that's you've got 2 sort of parallel, and you've got one a lot wider at the bottom than the top. I like the fact it looks like it's just been done by somebody who's bored out of their mind. Get it done, another one, another patch on, done, get that one done, now another one, great. Oh, can you see through the poppers? Yeah. Everybody seems to be going through this popper with the hole in it. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice attention to detail, I guess, but who the hell is going to notice when it's done up? Unless you just go around going, hey, my poppers, they have holes in them. But yeah, I'm sure that's more correct, but, you know, come on. Yeah, I mean, original ones like that, but realms of reality here. The public are not going to be going, show me your poppers. They better have holes in them. Great. I'm sure I will start some sort of popper agenda now where people will be criticising me for not worrying about poppers with holes in them. Okay, so so it's very similar at the front. However, the cost if you're in the UK will be vastly different. I'm sure at the front. Actually, they did a sale recently where you could get a jacket for, I think it's $25, and a set of trousers for $25 in what I've described as small to normal sizes. But of course, they sold really quickly, and I don't think they would ever have any left by now. As a couple of weeks ago. That's better. Right, trousers. Trousers are not exciting, but let's have a look. I know some of you are probably going, what the fuck? Trousers? You need trousers. Yes, you do. I mean, the belt is, do you know what? Wow, okay. I'm assuming the belt comes with it like this, and he hasn't just done this specially for me. But, you know, add a belt to the uniform. That's a tenner on, or it's not tenner, maybe more on a lot of people's websites. So, you pay the same as Soldier of Fortune, the same as Epic. And you get a belt. And a patch. And string. Let's not forget the string. Now, if his name's not Steve, I'm going to feel really bad at the end of this. Steve did warn me about the buttons are a bit of a sort of odd shade. So I know that's being addressed. So I won't rip him a new one over those. I will however show them, just so you know what I'm talking about. They almost have a pearlescent sort of finish to them. And they're an odd sort of metallic brown, I think we'll go with. But that is being addressed. However, they'll not only be under the belt, the suspenders will be mangled around them, your webbing will be over them, your jacket will be over them. You can change these yourself as well. So that is the least of your worries. 3 velvets at the back, 1 near the sides, 1 right at the very front. Yes, yeah. Right, let's look at exciting things like rows of stitching on reinforcing. So again, it's the same. It's 3 and 2 this time. So 3 rows on the top. Good. And again, maybe I'll show these. They're not in parallel straight lines. They again look like somebody who's been doing this all day long and is bored out of their head. Yeah, and again, it's not only 3 on the outside as well. You've also got them on the inside where it's actually hidden. Unless you've got your pockets jammed full of stuff, then, you know, the public may be able to see it, but probably not when they're CC2'd. But again, you know you didn't write. Yeah, the button on the back is a much more normal button. Yeah, they are. Steve, you were right. They are a bit funky. Yeah, mark the usual sort of stuff that everybody marks with. Nice simple markings. Yeah, all the pocket flaps, you know, they look like pocket flaps you find on everything from trousers, like jackets, you know, it's just a big pocket of material in the inside. Oh, we found a manufacturer's label. Eesh. Yes, I know I'm a critical arsehole. I mean, it resembles the normal QM tags. Very, very modern looking fonts. But, you know, it's a label, and the fact that unless you start taking your trousers off and showing people the inside of your trousers, it shows. Don't think anybody's going to be seeing that. At least April get to capital A. No, it's a lot better than most people's labels, if they put them in at all. So, I hate these fucking leg ties. I always hate leg ties. First thing I do, gone. I mean, as we know, the 101st and the 82nd had very, very different leg ties. I hate the fucking things. And I don't know the difference between them. I'm not even going to pretend I do. I hate them. So you guys can work out. I mean, they're a light brown. They're quite a light material, like a single row of HBT. Yeah, I don't know about them. I'm not going to pretend I do, because there's no fucking point. Because one, I'd be lying. Two, you guys would probably criticise the shit out of me. Not that I give a shit what most people think, as you probably guessed from my videos. So yeah, you decide. You tell me what they are. Whether they're the 101st or the 82nd, or neither, or yeah. But again, I know a lot of people swap these out for accurate ones, or they hack them off like I do. Yeah, trousers are trousers, but from what I can tell, because obviously looking at trousers in pictures is quite difficult. Jackets is a lot more easy because you get a lot more, you know, head, chest upwards shots than you do of people's legs, certainly when you're close up. Yeah, nice row of stitching that goes underneath. No, not underneath. Sorry, nice one that goes into the. Jesus, I want to show you what I'm trying to fucking say. It goes into the seam like the one on the arm, so it would have been split down there, sewn inside. Actually, let's check the leg shape. I know this is going to sound strange, but SEMs, no, that's fine. On the SEMs one, it comes pretty much, you know, even down the leg until it gets to about the bottom of here, and then it just curves in rapidly, like they've totally turned into a pair of joggers or tights, and they're almost half the length at the half the width at the bottom than they are further up the leg. Harry, yeah. And again, they're that nice light material. So, I will be changing the website. I have to add these in version 3 of the book later on. And I am very much happy to say these will be the first recommendation to buy. Again, if my word means anything to anybody, I don't know. And frankly, I don't really care if you listen to me or not. I mean, I'm used to not being listened to. I'm married. SOF still in the second place. We will get the epic ones soon to have a proper good look at. And then we can compare them directly to the SOF, to the original. This will probably be returned back unless I have a word with Steve and say, look, give me a few days and I'll chuck you some money for it. But that is really nice. If you're going to get M42, HORNBEAM Militaria. Yes, I hadn't heard of them either. The website is more what I've called an old style Militaria website, and you have to find the reenacting living history stuff. But I think it wasn't that difficult from what I wrote. Oh, do you know what? Let's make me small. Oh, let's stick me over there so we don't have an infinite amount of me's in the different distance. And HORNBEAM Militaria. Ah, yeah, there's reproduction Militaria. So you hit that and you can go through the bits and pieces. And that brings me on to the Garrison cap. Look at that. So no, I looked at it and went, wow, yeah, the shape, fantastic. It doesn't look like that square Thunderbird cap. It looks like a cap should look like. Unpiped, they do piped ones, but the fact they do unpiped is brilliant. You can find some original piping, sometimes really, really cheap. Any idiot can sew. I can do it. Anybody can do it. I mean, if you can't do it, then just YouTube how to sew. I mean, I'm sure there'll be an instructional video somewhere. So, that for presentation. I like little bits of attention like that. It shows the person you're getting it from actually gives a shit. Oh, it's an officer's one. Oh, there's my correction, there's two. Okay. So I'm sure a card just flew out then or something. Now, sorry Steve, I can't tell you. Can't tell. Oh, it's there. Oh yeah, it's another one of those. Right, let's. I almost said let's make me big. Let's not do that. Let's move back up there so I can see me. Unlucky me. Right. Let's start with the the unpiped one. It's nice. What's that? That smell again. I love it. Sorry, yeah, I know. Why am I sniffing things? Okay, so let's start with the inside. So you've got a nice leather sweatband that runs all. Was it joined? So it's joined right at the very back. Good. So it's not going to scratch and irritate. You've got a size label, which, yeah, doesn't look too bad. Yeah, happy with that. Because some of them look like they're so modern fonts that the idea of making the label was there, but then that final bit of attention to detail, you almost don't want to use. See, now I'm going to sound really weird. You don't want to use text to make those labels. You want to use a picture and effectively get a picture printed on there, and then the size written on the bottom. At least that's how I would do it. But again, I do not design labels for people. So, but in my head, that's how I would do it, and that comes from a CAD background more than anything else. See, that's right. Okay, let's move the officers one out of the way a minute, and let's grab something that resembles the shape of that one. Oh my god, that's okay. So this is a bit smaller. Again, the labels. So that's a 7 3/8. Oh, what? That's actually supposed to be the same size. Yeah, this is a 1941 dated, February 19th, 7 3/8. Now, when I put these together, there is a definite size variation. See, they are butted right up, and there is a size variation. But where's the ruler? Do we know what I've done with my ruler? Jesus, this room was such a goddamn mess. Alright, let's use a different ruler. So it's exactly 11 inches long, and that is exactly 12 inches long. It's not been. No, it's definitely 7 3/8. Okay, well I don't know which is right because I don't know how the hell you measure a head. Measure a head. Ha. Anyway, right. So the material looks a bit darker than the original one, but then again, the original one is 80 years old, and what's to say it hasn't faded? So again, as I said earlier, this may be a modern manufacturing thing, but the stitches are a lot bigger than on the original ones. This might be unavoidable. I don't know. I don't manufacture things. It's all made the right way, you know. It all bellows out at the top, same as the original one. All the, you know, you can unfold these back on themselves. So you open it right up, and it's all made exactly the same way. Yeah. Alright. This is the first reproduction Garrison cap I've seen I like. Because as I say, there's always something wrong with them. Whether it's the colour or the colour. I almost want to say it's a touch too dark. But that's hard to say when you're comparing it against originals that are this old. No, it's anything to hand. No, because all the original stuff is, again, it's older. I like it. I do like it. Well, I'm not a 7 3/4 because this should be quite big. Yeah, my head's gonna. You know what? I mean, I'd take a 7 1/4. So I can just feel as so this must be really tight on me then. Oh no, what the hell? That's really strange. That label must be wrong in that cap. Yeah, it's just a little bit too big, which it should be at that size. Let me move me out of the way on this screen. I don't even know where I've gone. Not that I'm sure many of you will mind, you can't see me. So, 15 quid. 15 quid gets you a really nice Garrison cap. For some reason I think that includes shipping, but I could be talking out my arse. Oh yeah, free UK shipping on all, yeah. It says checked. Sorry, calculated checkout, but up there it says free. I will just check. Well, there we go. There's a huge difference between Soldier of Fortune. Wow. Oh wait, on all original or replica medals. Oh, maybe talking bot. Hold on. Let's no. Oh, I hate the internet. Let's just see what shipping is. Out of curiosity. Yeah, you predict me. Yep. And that's my address. If somebody needs it. Free. Oh, it is free. There we go. How awesome is that? Huh. Yeah. So not only do you get a really good cap, you also get it shipped free. I'm sure soft charge between 5 and 8 quid to ship something. I know I always pick on soft, that's because I've dealt with them so many times over the years. We bought so much through them that you just get used to, you know, paying 8 quid for shipping, and you know it soon mounts up. And when you want something that costs you 15 quid, you don't really want to pay it like another quarter of the price or more to get it to you. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, fantastic. If anyone in the group wants a Garrison cap, I have a 7 3/8 here. I'm sure Steve was just happy with you just sent him the money. That's really nice. And the officers one. So the officers one is more. It's more Thunderbird, so it's more square. Let's have a look. So it's very similar in construction to the Unlisted Man's unpiped one. What size is it? 7 1/4. So, oh, it's a little bit. I would say the sizing is just out by a touch. It just feels, yeah, a little bit loose. So you may have to downsize a bit. The piping's really nice. Because some of the piping on the officers' ones, like, it's really thick, and the gold parts of it are way too big. It should be quite subtle. If I hold my, do you know, I have 2 original ones here actually. Let's hold them all up together. So you can't see that well. So the original piping's obviously faded. It's not quite as gold as it used to be. But see the way that the gold is quite small, and on the one at the front, and it's quite bright on the new Hornbeam one, but it's roughly the same size. And a lot of them are massive, and they do look quite garish. So the shape isn't as curved. They've gone for the more square Thunderbird style, as I call it. In fact, it's that shape. There you go. It's that shape. And do you know what? Wow. And this is actually a really small one. What the hell size is this? 6 3/8. Ha! No, 6 and... Oh my god, I don't know what that says. 6 and 3 somethings. 6 3/4, maybe. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. But it's made the same way. And, God, it's except this one, weirdly, this one has a lovely silk liner to it. So, why am I looking that way and showing you that? And the Officer's one doesn't. Which would be a really nice addition if you want to do a posher version in the future. Because, you know, us officers have delicate little heads. And we can't really match for shit. Yeah, that would make a really nice cap. Really nicer cap if it had the silk liner inside it for an officer's treat. Yeah, but still, it's really nice. You know what? You can't fault it. Where's the other one? There. So I'm just looking for something, anything. That I'm going to go, I think it's just the size. That's just... It just feels a touch too big. But not by much. I mean, it's... Such an idiot, McKay. I'm just going to use you as a mirror. Yeah, it is. It's just a touch. But again, I might have an odd shaped head. But then again, my original are both 7 1/4. That one's 7 1/4. In fact, this one says 7 3/8, and that's, I think, they're a quarter of a size out on both, or one of them. Well, where's the other cap? There. Let's compare the two actually. Oh yeah, there's really not much in those. 7 1/4, 7 3/8. I think that's about right. It's just that they are actually touching that end, by the way. Yeah, that end. So it's just, there you go. You can see the difference. It's hardly anything, which it shouldn't be much. Yeah, I would say that's just a touch out, but that could be me talking bollocks. But that's just comparing it against original sizes. These could be perfect, and they could be out. You tell me. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's really light as well. Okay, right, enough rambling. So we've learnt that they're going to be number 1. Recommendation on the website, in the book. I will expect to see links to this place, because I think they deserve some recognition, as they've just gone out and done this off their own back. They're not overpriced. They're fucking amazing for somebody who's just decided to do this. I mean, SOF have been doing this for how long? I mean, SOF have been around for... I remember when they were more a militaria company. You'd get a catalogue through the door and you could buy a whole set of like US webbing for £100. Garrison belt, suspenders, musette bag, water bottle, canteen cover, Carlisle pouch, the whole lot. It cost you £100, and they had piles and piles and piles of it. And then they progressed into the company they are now, specialising in reproduction militaria. But these guys have come from nowhere, and for that to come from, you know, just who knows? I mean, I know Steve said he is a reenactor, living historian as well, and that he wanted something that was good enough for him, and if it wasn't, it wouldn't have ever come to market. And again, it's sort of the ethos that we use in Mistrop. Yeah, very, very impressed. Absolutely. And I know I keep saying it because I'm genuinely... I mean, I knew it was going to be good, just from the pictures I saw. I didn't know how good. Mind is almost blown. I'm even almost almost at a loss for words. While I think about it, let's move me back over there and shrink that down. You can't see because I'm there. My wallpaper is just another random picture that I took from the internet on a website, and I thought that's interesting. We'll take that. But see the glider wings at the bottom, the blue one. Now, I mean, Jolly Bando, don't ever quote him for saying history or you'll be told off, because you're not allowed to repeat history that comes from his mouth. I stated that those paratrooper wings in that style were worn on M42s, on shirts and that sort of thing. Rarely, but they were worn. And then we saw, where's the camera? Those on shirts that are usually attributed towards 502 members that probably, nobody knows for sure, had them made in England. Possibly between the Normandy Market Garden jump, more likely before that, because obviously there's not a lot of time between Normandy and Market Garden. However, they were in England a damn sight longer than the Normandy jump. So we had those made. Now, there were some people that said, hey, they were not for paratroopers, they were for pilots and all sorts of other weird shit we heard. Yeah, you know, we just ignored it. You only get one of these if you do 8 events with us, and then you get one free, because, you know, we're nice like that. And then I saw this picture and went, hold on a minute, they did glider versions too. Obviously, we don't, well, I say we don't do 327th or 320th glider troops, but we do have a couple of guys in the group which do that. And then I spotted this picture and went, they had that shit too. And it's a confusing grouping, because obviously you've got 506 DI, gliders, lovely Type 8 chicken. What's that, a 1 or a 2 maybe? So yeah, it's a bit of a confusing group. I mean, I'm assuming from the amount of glider stuff that he was a glider, and this is an acquisition or something. But yeah, lovely to see that version of it. There was 2 versions of these that we found, so I had both reproduced. One is more of a sort of bullion, but actually, you know what? They're actually behind my screen in a little box. They're quite hard to tell the difference between. Oh yeah, there we go. So there is that one, which it's almost like more of a string texture, and then there's that one, which is more of a light thread. Now you're probably going, what the fuck, that was the same thing. But if I hold them both up together, if you look at the parachute canopy on its own, you'll sort of see the difference maybe. I know, you're probably thinking, oh, fucking bonkers. Why there's 2 versions, God only knows. Like everything, these questions, unfortunately, will never be answered by anybody who knows the truth, just opinions. Right, I do not like those patches. No, that's not what I was going to say. I'm signing off. Hornbeam Militaria, you have done one hell of an amazing job producing that off your own back. Well done, and thank you for contributing something towards the hobby. Also, Garrison caps. At last, there are Garrison caps that have been reproduced that are not only good, fucking amazing, they are absolutely fantastic. We finally have somewhere to get Garrison caps from. Hooray! At last. Right, I'll try and get round to doing more video review things, because you guys keep on sending me things to review, which is great. If anybody has anything they want me to have a look at, I'll have a look at it, I guess. Just send it through the website. If you want to complain, then go to www.idon'tgiveafuck.com. And somebody joked me the other day that I am a YouTuber. Ellie, I am not a fucking YouTuber. Anyway, I'm signing off. So make sure you smash that. No, I'm never going to say that in a fucking million years. Right, laters.